short duration. What we can do is, Jayalakshmi team finished. Who else?
Me,
Okay.
Disha
Yourself.
Mataji and Deepa Mataji.
So you're ready?
Yes.
Okay. 1 second. You want 5 minutes coordination? Not required.
We are ready.
Okay. Very good. 1 second. Okay. The live stream is on. Okay, all the best. Hari Bol. Who are all there? Govind Rai Prabhu, Disha, and
Deepshika Mataji.
Deepshika Mataji. Very good. All the best. Hari Bol. Start.
Thank you, Mataji. Am I audible?
Yes.
Thank you. So Deepshika Mataji, myself, and Om Govind Rai Prabhu, we are presenting a skit depicting the events leading to Narsingadev killing the demoniac king Hiranyakashipu. Here, Om Govind Rai Prabhu will be enacting as Hiranyakashipu throughout the skit. I will be the narrator, and Deepshika Mataji will be Lord Brahma in the first scene, and following she will enact as Prahlad and Narsimadev. Beginning the skit now. Since the creation of the material world, everyone has been trying to attain a permanent life, but the laws of nature are so cruel that no one has been able to avoid the hand of death. No one wants to die, nor does anyone want to become old or diseased. From the Puranas, we learn the activities of the demon Hiranyakashipu, a king who was very much advanced materially, wanting to conquer cruel death to enjoy his material acquisitions. He underwent a meditation so severe that the inhabitants of all the planetary systems became disturbed by his mystic powers. He forced the creator of the universe, Brahma, to come down to him. The following scene is the boon by Lord Brahma to Hiranyakashipu.
O Brahma, creator of the universe, accept my obeisances. Grant me a boon of becoming Amara, immortal, by which one does not die. I want to be deathless.
I cannot grant you the gift of immortality, because even I, the creator of this material universe, who rules all the planets, is not Amar. I have a very long life, but one day there is an end to this body as well.
Then give me a boon that I should not be killed by any man or any animal or by any god or any other living beings within the 8.4 million species. I should also not be killed on land, in the air, or in the water. I shall neither die during day or night, nor should I die inside or outside the house, nor by any astra or shastra.
Granted, Hiranyakashipu.
Being the wicked demon Hiranyakashipu he used his demoniac intelligence and got different boons from Brahma to attain so-called immortality. With his powers, he began to ruin the life of people in the three worlds. He asked all devotees of Vishnu to worship him instead of the Lord. Following is the scene of the birth of the devotee Prahlad and the end of the demon Hiranyakashipu. As the years passed by, Kayadu, the wife of Hiranyakashipu, gave birth to Prahlad in the ashram of Narad Muni. Sage Narada narrated the glories of Lord Narayan to Kayadu and child Prahlad in her womb. Hearing the glories from the womb, Prahlad became a devotee of Lord Narayan. Hiranyakashipu, who wanted everyone to worship him, was greatly disappointed by hearing his own son chanting the names of Vishnu. To make Prahlad Hiranyakashipu conscious, the king sent Prahlad to the ashram of Shukracharya's sons Shanda and Amarka. But they were also unsuccessful in breaking the devotion of Prahlad to Lord Vishnu. And this greatly angered Hiranyakashipu, and now he wanted to kill his son.
Soldiers, kill Prahlad, poison him, throw him off the cliff, burn him, let the mad elephants trample him, let the poisonous snakes bite him, do anything but kill him somehow as soon as possible.
Even after all these attempts of Hiranyakashipu to kill Prahlad, he was unsuccessful because every time Prahlad was saved by Lord Vishnu due to his undeterred devotion to him. Now Hiranyakashipu tries to kill Prahlad with his own hands in his palace.
You believe in Lord Narayana, the killer of your uncle, and yet you are saying that he is the supreme? Where can your Narayana be found? Where is he? Show me.
Yes, Vishnu is the supreme because everything animate and inanimate within and outside this universe is controlled and owned by him. He is in all living beings. He is omnipresent and there is not a single place where Narayana is not found.
Let me check your so-called knowledge and devotion for Vishnu. Is your Vishnu in this pillar?
Yes, yes, Father, he is in that pillar as well.
Hiranyakashipu hit the pillar strongly with his mace. With a thundering sound, the pillar cracked, and Lord Vishnu appeared in the most ferociously beautiful form as Lord Narsimha, the half man and half lion form. The furious Lord Narsimha grabbed Hiranyakashipu and pulled him to his lap.
Hiranyakashipu, recall your boons given by Brahma.
I cannot killed by human or animal, not in day or at night, not by any astra shastra, not inside or outside the house, not on the land or in the sky. I am immortal. I cannot die.
Listen, you rascal! I am killing you not as human or animal, but in the form of Narasimha, not in the day and night, but in twilight, not by Astra or Shastra, but by my nails. I am not killing you inside or outside, but on the doorstep, not on the land or in the sky, but on my lap.
Oh, I am unstoppable. It can't be. This isn't happening. I cannot die.
Hiranyakashipu was killed on the lap of that wonderful personality, Narasimha, who was beyond his conception. Hiranya means gold and Kashipu means soft bed. This cunning gentleman Hiranyakashipu was interested in two things, money and women, and he wanted to enjoy them by becoming immortal. The laws of nature, however, does not allow anyone immunity from old age, disease, or death. The whole point here is that even Hiranyakashipu, the most powerful of materialists, could not become deathless by his various plans. What then can be accomplished by the tiny Hiranyakashipus of today, whose plans are thwarted from moment to moment?
It's done,
Thank
Mataji.
you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Wow, that was super excellent. Prabhu also listened and he was so happy. Hari Bol. All of you give a big hand and say Hari Bol to
Hari
this
Bol.
team.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Nrsimhadev Bhagwan ki
Jai.
Jai. Prahlad Maharaj ki
Jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai.
So Srila Prabhupada gives us the right perspective with which we can see everything. And it's so nice to see you do this authentic. So this immortality is what we are starting today's class with. Any other team would like to do now? Already Navneet's team has done. All these carry mark, okay? All this carry some marks in your open book assessment. Open book assessment earlier was only writing essay. But what we have done is we have added these activities, plus we are also adding your lectures. You will be giving some lectures rather than an essay. That essay has to be read out. So all this will add up to that. Okay. Not specific mark for the all will almost get the same mark, but only thing is you should have been participated. That's all. Very good. And so it's mandatory. It's not optional. Thank you very much. Santosh Nitai Prabhu, kindly note whoever has done whatever. Very good. Thank you very much. Now
Okay,
we will
Mataji.
go. Any other team? Okay, we will wait for the other teams. Andaman team will do on Saturday and Sakshi team will do on Saturday. And also one more team is there. The boys, BBs. So they will do on Saturday. Fine. Okay. Let us proceed with our regular this verse and the rest of the purport. And then, if possible, we'll go to the next verse today. Okay. So this struggle for existence, the tiny Hiranyakashibus of today, Prabhupada is mentioning, if any, then their plans are smashed, not at the end, at the beginning itself. They cannot accomplish anything. Okay. Can someone read? We have read it, no, fully? Did we read? No, I don't think so. Okay. Let us all read from here. Somebody should start reading from this.
Sri Isopanisad instructs us not to make one-sided attempts to win the struggle for existence. Everyone is struggling hard for existence, but the laws of the material nature are so hard and fast that they do not allow anyone to surpass them. In order to attain a permanent life, one must be prepared to go back to Godhead. The process by which one goes back to Godhead is a different branch of knowledge, and it has to be learned from revealed Vedic scriptures such as the Upanishads, Vedanta Sutra, Bhagavad Gita, and Srimad Bhagavatam. To become happy in this life and attain a permanent blissful life after leaving this material body, one must study the sacred literature and obtain transcendental knowledge. Conditioned living being has forgotten his eternal relationship with God and has mistakenly accepted the temporary place of his birth as all in all. The Lord has kindly delivered the above mentioned scriptures in India and other scriptures in other countries to remind the forgetful human being that his home is not here in this material world. The living being is a spiritual entity and he can be happy only by returning to his spiritual home. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So if somebody asks you, can I live forever? What will you say? Jayalakshmi is unmuted, so she can tell.
We can't live forever because we are a mortal being and we are abided by the laws of material nature. And
No, baby. The living being is a spiritual entity.
What was the question? I think
if somebody asks you, can I live forever? So what will be your answer? Yes or no?
no, mother. We live as we have an eternal permanent life in Goloka.
So Sri Ishopanishad instructs us not to make one-sided attempts. Everyone wants to struggle for existence means they don't want to die. Struggle to exist. I don't want to die. So, but you cannot surpass when as far as your body. So here there's a tips is given. Read it again, this portion.
In order to attain a permanent life, one must be prepared to go back to Godhead.
So you should say that, yes. So what is the process?
So self-realization and become Krishna conscious.
Very good. No need to self-realization. The problem is the Mayavadis, the yogis and yanis, they go behind self-realization. We go behind God. The Krishna is transcendental. And once you touch him, that very moment, for example, if I'm chanting Hare Krishna, that very moment I'm chanting Hare Krishna, I'm in spiritual world. Because Krishna's name and his form and his personality are non-different. Non-different. So when I really address also, it's not Nama Dosh also. Like for example, Jamila, he chanted his son's name, but is not high class because he is addressing his son. But the name is powerful. But when I really think of directly Krishna and call Krishna or Govinda or Hare Krishna, I think of Radha Krishna and say Radha Krishna or Gauranga, then I'm directly addressing the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I'm directly addressing that. So, the moment we are chanting, we are in touch with the Lord. That time we are already liberated state, and we are in spiritual world. Only thing is, like blind child in the spiritual world, blind, deaf, dumb, like this right now. But it will get developed. So, how do I? There is a process where I can live eternally. I am an eternal living being. But I have come into this body. And as the self-realization is a byproduct of God realization. Like, for example, if you buy somebody is telling, okay, you buy a fridge, then you will get a pen free. So, or a comb free. So, our purpose is not to buy a comb or a pen. The purpose is to buy a fridge. So, when we get God, we get everything. When we get Krishna, we get self-realization also, because we are part and parcel of Krishna. When you get Krishna holistically, then you are part and parcel of Krishna. How will you not self-realize? So the science of self-realization is becoming Krishna consciousness. Once you become conscious of Krishna and you start serving Krishna, you're performing the activity of a self-realized person. So Prabhupada says that don't wait for realizing that I'm not the body, I'm spirit soul. Theoretically accept minimum that I'm not the body, I'm spirit soul. Okay, now what is the activity of spirit soul? I'm spirit soul. For body, I'm doing so many things. I'm getting up in the morning, I'm taking bath, brushing my teeth, eating, sleeping. So many things I'm doing. So what am I supposed to do as a spirit soul? Jivera Swarupahoy Krishnera Nityadas. So the Sparupa of Jiva is simply to become Dasa of Krishna. Okay, fine. So how do I serve Krishna? I'm not able to see him. He is not around me. So the Acharya Parampara has given us a process or a methodology in which the deity form of Krishna is introduced, and also the Krishna is introduced in the form of holy name. So Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Sparanam, Padasivanam, Archanam, Mandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. These 9 processes are given as a activity of the spirit soul in the material world. So when we perform these activities, which are directly activity of the spirit soul, which is performed even in the spiritual world, the same activity is performed in the spiritual world also. Like Yashoda, she is singing about Krishna. Radharani, she is singing, talking, all the gopis are talking about Krishna regularly. And they're hearing about more and more interested to hear about Krishna. In this way, spiritual activity as a spirit soul, you start performing. Then automatically self-realization is a byproduct of God realization. So when we try to realize Krishna, when we try to connect with him, because see, whether you realize, you don't realize. Are you a spirit soul or not? A non-realized person also is a spirit soul. Why should we realize at all? Because by default, you're spirit soul, part and parcel of Krishna. You realize it, you don't realize it. In both cases, in this very moment, you're a spirit soul, I am a spirit soul, all of us are spirit souls, and this birds and animals, they are entangled within that body, but they are spirit soul only. In the moment they perform spiritual activity by connecting with Krishna, then what happens? When connecting with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by connecting with Krishna, that very moment we are getting connected with the Supreme Lord. We are getting connected with the Supreme Lord, and then we are in transcendental platform, and the self-realization automatically happens. So the self-realization comes after God realization. So we don't work for self-realization. So this is the process. Bhakti is ultimate. So when you perform devotional service, automatically you are in when you are performing devotional service, automatically you are in the self-realized platform. You are mukta. You are a jivan mukta. You have not gone to the spiritual world, but you are performing. You are connected with the spiritual world. Very special. So these processes, where can I find all this? Wow, is it so? Where can I find this? The process by which one can go back on board this different branch of knowledge, and not like Hiranyakashipu making tapasya and asking Brahma. Rather, by default, Hiranyakashipu doesn't die. He is actually Jaya and Vijaya. He was in he already in the spiritual world, Vaikuntha. He came back. And then he is showing all this stuff. So we are eternal living being. Naturally, we don't die. But we have to acquire that form, our original form. And this temporary form is the problem. So to become happy in this life and to attain a permanent blissful life after leaving this body, so we live forever. So we are actually immortal. We are not the body, we are spirit soul. We are actually immortal. Why should you pray for immortality within the same body? This wretched body, this blood, shit, urine, and pus body. Why you want permanent body, blood, shit, urine, and pus body? You can have Satsiddhananda Vigraha, Satsiddhananda body. So, the conditioned living being has forgotten his eternal relationship with God. So, what is the reason for us attaining the material body is forgotten the eternal relationship with God. If you remember your eternal relationship with God, then that moment you are liberated already. How will I remember? Okay, how will I remember the relationship? By serving, by connecting, chanting, and various other services. I keep serving, then I get connected. So what is the service? Many people misunderstand only dasya to be service to Krishna, rest to be sadhana. So we are not actually like yogis. We claim the chanting to be sadhana. No, chanting is service. Prahlad Maharaj is describing. Chanting is service. Hearing is service. We are now discussing this is service. How? This is Maranam. Yesterday, you all prepared some Narsinghadev drama, so all skit and all of you were discussing Prahlad, Narsinghadev, some transcendental stuff. You're talking about personalities who are beyond the material existence. So, Sravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. The definition. Okay, what is devotional service? The definition is given by Rupa Goswami. Again, we'll see in Nectar of Devotion. But these are all the items which are part of devotional service with primary angas of bhakti. So what is devotional service? Then Dasyam is one. Of course, when we go to temple, we do so many varieties of service. They all come under Dasya, which is kind of an advanced level, but without chanting, all that is waste. So chanting is the primary, like breathing of the soul. The soul, of course, doesn't have the breathing separately, body separately, soul separately. In spiritual world, both body and soul, everything is same only. There is no separate. Here we have body and soul, two different. But in spiritual world, soul is the body. So the conditioned living being has forgotten his eternal relationship with God, has mistakenly accepted a temporary place of birth. So this temporariness is, we are not permanency. So the problem is, if we try in this body to live long duration or not die at all, it's a foolishness because it's not our original body. We have got our original body. And certainly the other will, for example, the robotics is advancing. So when somebody wants to perform Herculean task, like for example, like the JCP, they have a tractor kind of thing called JCP, which can dig out the earth. Okay. Now there is a man sitting in that and making the digging activity. But actually they are finding out robots. They are creating robots in which a man, instead of having it like a separate tractor or something, a man will enter into the suit of JCP, and he will just keep moving like virtual reality. He'll keep moving his hands. So he will just dig like that. Then the machine will go and dig the entire mud. The same JCP concept only, but it is a machine. It's a machine which is doing it, but it's kind of a robo. So if the man thinks that machine is only me, So anyway, that machine will get destroyed after some time. That requires a repair. You need to go, you need to constantly maintain. Even when you're going in a car, you think you are the car. Then it's car will keep requiring service. You need to send, you need to repair. There will be puncture and there will be, you have to fill petrol. So many maintenance is required for the car. But if you have the ability, to act as a car, then if you have the ability to act as a car, then what you can do, you can, you yourself is empowered with this ability, then you don't require, you don't have the ability, sorry, please, sorry, forgive me. 1 second. So if I have a mission, okay, and the mission requires so much maintenance, but if I have the ability to perform all the activity which the mission does, why do I require a mission at all? And I am zero maintenance person. So we as a spirit soul is the zero maintenance person because the time doesn't act on us. We go to Bhagavad Gita, in the introduction, we will see all these beautiful concepts in a very simple manner, very nicely we can see. But just understand, God realization is the primary and self-realization is secondary. It will automatically happen to you. You keep performing service and you'll realize, okay, I'm not the body, I'm spirit soul. Very, very quickly. Like you, what is the size of the fridge? And they are giving you a pen or a comb as a gift. Like that, the Krishna consciousness will give you gifts. So many realizations, not just self-realization. We will get many, many realizations, beautiful realizations in Krishna while we connect with Krishna and perform devotional service. So that is the power of devotional service. So here we have mistakenly, because we have forgotten their eternal relationship. So what should we do? Where will we get this information of eternal life? Is mainly Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. This is what we are going to see in Bhakti Shastri. We'll do Bhagavad Gita, and in Bhakti Vaibhav we'll do Bhagavatam. Then we will get eternal life. It's all finished. So the above mentioned scriptures in India and other scriptures in countries remind the forgetful human being that his home is not here in the material world. So the problem with the Hiranyakashipu was he wanted to live eternal life in the same body. Why? Not to serve Krishna, but to serve his senses, serve the senses. Why? Hiranya and Kashipu. Soft bed and gold. So this is not our home, and we want to make it permanent. This is the issue. And we seriously think and hard work and put all the efforts in this temporary life. So the living entity is spiritual entity, and he can be happy only by returning to his spiritual home. For example, if there is a fish, you take the fish and put it outside the water. Okay? Assume that now the fish is outside the water, and you give it anything, give it car, bungalow, very nice palatable dishes, and give it very nice foodstuffs to eat and dresses. You go and do any shopping, and make it travel all over the world, and give it a beautiful garden, give it a swing where it can enjoy. Will the fish enjoy any of this? Can the fish enjoy right now any of this facility which you are giving? Give a beautiful another fish also to get married when it is outside the water. Will it do? Will it be happy? Never. You just, anything you give, it won't be happy. You just need to take the fish and put it back in the water. Then see how it swims and goes and plays and just gets inside. It's so comfortable. So the problem with us is we are our fish out of water. We are fish. Our element of living, natural situation is spiritual world, our home with Krishna. This is our natural situation. And when we are put in this material world, which is like taking the fish out of water, and you give, and we are thinking, no, I'll be happy if I have that, if I have this, if I have this, if I have a scooter, I'll be happy. If I have a mobile, I'll be happy. If I have a wife, I'll be happy. If I have beauty, I'll be happy. If I have money, I'll be happy. If I have wealth, I'll be, property, I'll be happy. If, so many, you try and try and try and try. At last, everything is somehow that fulfillment and happiness doesn't come at all. We just need to return back to our natural position, like worshipping Krishna, chanting his names, going around Tulsi. Simple activities, sweet activities of devotional service makes you so soothing and comfortable. Just in Damodar month, we just showed a lamp. That's all. Simple lamp showing, and it was so blissful. And if somebody says that is your life, showing lamp to Krishna, hearing about Krishna, this only is your life. And we feel so comfortable. Even children, Krishna conscious children, they feel so uneasy to go to school. They like to come to the temple and play. Because in the temple, all the activities are very jolly for them. They can be in the kirtan, they'll be with the karatal, then they'll be in the mridanga for some time. Then they'll run into the kitchen here and there and do some little cutting and this thing here. And then they go to the Arati and they see the Arati. Sometimes they'll sit in the lecture. In this way, they feel so happy and they really don't want to leave the temple even after the Sunday feast. They want to stay back and sleep. Unless they are tired and they want to sleep, otherwise, mostly, they don't like to go to school. We all didn't like to go to school. But when somebody says, okay, come to temple, they immediately come. Unless they are adults who are carried away by some illusory thing. A simple-hearted children, they will immediately like, because this is our natural constitution position. Natural. Dancing in front of the Lord. Dancing is our nature. Singing is our nature. So dancing and singing is given as a dharma in devotional service. That is our natural activity. So we feel so comfortable, like the fish inside the water will swim here and there, and it will find its own food there, and it will have its own life. Same way, we will have everything there in the spiritual world. So, okay. Continue reading. Sorry, Jayalakshmi, that question was generally a question. It's not specifically for you. Yeah, continue. Anybody can read or you can read. Anybody else?
May I?
Yes.
From his kingdom,
Om Govinda Rai Prabhu.
am I not audible? Sorry. From his
Yes,
kingdom, the personality of Godhead sends his bona fide servants to propagate this message by which one can return to Godhead. And sometimes the Lord comes himself to do this work. Since all living beings are his beloved sons, his parts and parcels, God is more sorry than we ourselves to see the suffering we are constantly undergoing in this material condition. The miseries of this material world serve to indirectly remind us of our incompatibility with dead matter. Intelligent living entities generally take note of these reminders and engage themselves in the culture of Vidya or transcendental knowledge. Human life is the best opportunity for the culture of spiritual knowledge, and a human being who does not take advantage of this opportunity is called a Naradam, the lowest of human beings.
Stay back. So, in order to give us this permanent life and returning back to our own home, the Lord is sending his bona fide servants. The Acharya Parampara is personally sent by Krishna to us, so that they carry this message. They come and propagate this message. How one can return back to God. There are many, like LKG teachers, there are UKG teachers, there is first standard, there is fifth, there is 10th. And our Acharya Parampara is like they teach from LKG to PhD, everything. But there are other religions where you can see simple messages carried. if you take Mohammedan religion or Christian religion, still they all talk about God only. They are called messengers only. Like Muhammad is called a messenger of God, and Jesus is the messenger of God. But they may not reveal the full feature of the Lord: how he looks, how he walks, what is his address, how other people around him, where he lives, how to reach him. So many of the praise the Lord is given, but how to praise him? Sri Krishna Bhagavan ki jai. Say jai. So we praise him by his name. Giridhari Gopal ki jai. He lifted the Govardhan Giri. And like so many things, Yashoda Nandan Damodar ki jai. So we have elaborate, detailed study, and we are very fortunate. And otherwise also, praising the Lord is the concept, or going back to God and love their Lord with all their heart and all their soul. Love your God with all your heart and all your soul. So this is the primary message of Jesus. But of course, it's not propagated. Every parampara gradually gets diminished, and then Krishna comes and re-establishes. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. So whenever dharma goes down in any society, even animal society, insect society, there are messengers who comes and tells there is God. And you just need to go back, and the message of God is sent to propagate. And we are very fortunate to be in this Acharya Parampara getting connected, because these bona fide servants, they propagate very detailed messages we are getting. So sometimes Lord himself is coming to do this work also, like Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Is Krishna himself, is Supreme Personality of Godhead. He came and he propagated the Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, which we are chanting every day. This is propagated by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All the living entities are his sons, and Krishna's part and parcel. Krishna's part and parcel. So God is very sorry. Krishna is feeling so sorry to see us suffer. See, just think, you're just walking in a street, maybe without slipper for some time, something is pricking you. A small thing pricks you. Even a small pin or a needle touches your skin. Immediately you feel such a great suffering. What is the big deal, yeah? We have such a 5 feet, 6 feet body. And a little pin, what difference make? But it makes such a big difference. And if one small particle of dust is entering your eye, think. Small particle of dust only. Entering your eye, the entire day is spoiled, or entire 1 or 2 hours is spoiled, unless you take it out or clean it off. Till then, you cannot do anything else. How pathetic suffering we are undergoing. Simple, casual existence. We are not able to exist even casually within this world. I was hungry. I ate very, very nicely, beautiful, nice food stuff. Appa, for another 3-4 days, I need not eat. No. After 5 hours, 4 or 5 hours, again hunger. Again give it. Again hunger. Again, oh my God. So Krishna is so sorry. In spiritual world, we eat for happiness, bliss, for our, because it's Krishna Prasadam, of course. Otherwise also we eat for happiness. We don't eat for hunger. There is no hunger in spiritual world. In our spiritual body. Only Ananda. There is no suffering. No duality is not there. Here we have happiness and suffering. There we have only happiness. Kevala Ananda Kanda. Kevala Ananda, just Ananda. That's it. And Krishna is so painful to see us, because of his forgetting him, we are undergoing this. So the miseries of this material world indirectly reminds us our incompatibility with dead matter. It's not that Krishna is purposely giving you torture. No. See, you're natural like a fish. But you wanted, no, I want to get out. The fish is fighting. I want to go to the land and see what is there in the land. I want to go to the land and see. Okay, go and see. You're put in the land and you cannot breathe. Same way, we came to the dead world. And we feel so uneasy in this dead matter, trying to enjoy this. And we are struggling so much. The intelligent living entity can make a note of the reminder, engage in the culture of Vidya, the original knowledge, original transcendental knowledge is Krishna conscious, like Jayalakshmi told. Krishna consciousness itself is a culture, and that itself is the real knowledge. So human life is the best opportunity for culture. This we already saw in one of the purport that human body is like a boat, and the favorable winds or the scriptures and other things which are helping us progress. Actually, this ocean is very difficult to cross. Samsara Sahara. It's considered like an ocean, and you feel like I got lost like that. But expert boatman is coming to lead this human life by acharyas, or the expert captains of this ship. They can guide us, and the favorable winds are the scriptures and other facilities which are provided in the human body. We have so many eyes, nose, and human body has better. We can chant very nicely. We need not wait for another person. Like if I'm a tree, I'm standing there. So I understood about Krishna consciousness. Somebody is discussing. So I'll keep waiting for someone to come and chant near me so that I can hear. I have to wait and wait and wait because I cannot chant. I'm a tree. No mouth. So best opportunity to cultivate the spiritual knowledge is human body. So this human body should not be wasted. If anybody is wasting, Nara Adama, Nara Adama. Nara means human. Adama means lower, lowest. Okay, lowest human being. Of all the human beings, lowest is the one who doesn't take advantage of this human body and cultivate the spiritual knowledge, which is from the proper scriptures, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. Is a waste man. No more that body, human body will be given. Okay. Okay. Continue reading.
Path of avidya, or advancement of material knowledge for sense gratification, is the path of repeated birth and death. As he exists spiritually, the living entity has no birth or death. Birth and death apply to the outward covering of the spirit soul, the body. Death is compared to the taking off, and birth to the putting on of outward garments. Foolish human beings who are grossly absorbed in the culture of avidya, nescience, do not mind this cruel process. And marred with the beauty of the illusory energy, they undergo the same miseries repeatedly and do not learn any lessons from the laws of nature. Therefore, the culture of Vidya, or transcendental knowledge, is essential for the human being. Sense enjoyment in the diseased material condition must be restricted as far as possible. Unrestricted senses enjoyment in this bodily condition is the path of ignorance and death. The living entities are not without spiritual senses. Every living being, in his original spiritual form, has all the senses, which are now materially manifested, being covered by the material body and mind. The activities of the material senses are perverted reflection of the activities of the original spiritual senses. In his deceased condition, the spirit soul engages in material activities under the material covering. Real sense enjoyment is possible only when the disease of materialism is removed. In our spiritual form, free from all material contamination, real enjoyment of the sense is possible. A patient must regain his health before he can truly enjoy sense pleasure again. Thus, the aim of human life should not be to enjoy perverted sense. Thus, the aim of human life should not be to enjoy the perverted sense enjoyment, but to cure the material disease. Aggravation of the material disease is no sign of knowledge, but a sign of avidya, ignorance. For good health, a person should not increase his fever from 105 degree to 107 degrees, but should reduce his temperature to the normal 98.6. That should be the aim of human life. The modern trend of material civilization is to increase the temperature of the feverish material condition, which has reached the point of 107 degrees in the form of atomic energy. Meanwhile, the foolish politicians are crying that any moment of the world may go to hell. That is the result of the advancement of material knowledge and the neglect of the most important part of life, the culture of spiritual knowledge. Sri Isopanisad herein warns that we must not follow this dangerous path leading to death. On contrary, we must develop the culture of spiritual knowledge so that we may become completely free from the cruel hands of death.
Okay. So, hold on. So we can come to the rest of reading. So, the body is temporary and the body has senses. See, the overall idea is you should enjoy. There is nothing wrong in thinking I should enjoy. But first you should know who you are. If you are thinking I am the body, this is a temporary body, it is going to be burnt or buried, but I am decorating, I am giving gratification, I am giving gratification, I am giving gratification for something which I am going to bury or burn. This example I think regularly quoted by this is an amazing example by Srila Prabhupada, that there was a person who was making a very beautiful house. He was building the beautiful house, very nice house, and next floor is building, and he's decorating and decorating and decorating. So another man, he asked, wow, you're building this house and so nicely, and you're decorating more and more. What are you going to do with this house? No, I will burn it one day. After this, I'll burn. After 10 years, I'll burn it. Why are you going to burn it, and why you're decorating so much? I just burn it. So, same way, when we are having this body, the entire 24 hours, 365 days is used in decorating, in eating, in nice sleeping, nice arrangement for enjoyment, nice arrangement for that enjoyment, nice arrangement, and then next arrangement. And like this, we are investing our time and energy and everything in which we are going to set fire. So the gentleman said, I'll set fire to this house. But he keeps, then if you're going to set fire, why are you decorating it so much? So this material world, everybody is involved full time, 24 hours, 365 days, all in just increasing the facility for just temporary material bodily facilities. So, but here, when we read Bhagavad Gita, the second chapter, the LKG lesson is, you're not the body or the spirit soul. And then later we come to know that we are not we have a spiritual body. Not we have a spiritual body, we are a spiritual body. We are a spiritual personality. We are a spiritual personality by ourselves. And we have all the senses. So it's not that the living entity is without, sometimes this Atma, and they show one light. Light is going here and there. Actually, our spiritual body is not fully developed condition because we have forgotten Krishna. But as soon as we see the deities of the Lord, our spiritual eye gets developed. As soon as we hear the kirtan, our spiritual ears get developed, like a baby in the womb. Already we have it, but it is in the dormant or dead state. Not dead, the spirit soul will never die. So we call it as forgotten state. The ears are forgotten about Krishna's name. When they hear, the spiritual body gets developed. That's called Siddha Deha. So Siddha Deha is your original body. Jivera Swarupa Hoi Krishnera Nityada. So we have a Swarupa. Swarupa, Swayam, me. Swa means me. Me, Swarupa. I have a form. So we all have Jivera, Jiva as a Swarupa. Jivera Swarupa Hoi. Krishnera Nityadasa. That Swarupa, one quality is guaranteed. That Krishnera Nityadas. So there are two things. I have a Swarupa and Nityadasa, so I am Nitya. I don't die. So two things. I don't have death. Second, I have a form. And that form is permanent. And I have forgotten Krishna, so that form is not visible to me, or I am not able to execute that limbs of my body. And as I perform Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, automatically the limbs of the body gets developed. And when the full body is revealed by the spiritual master, when we are in gradual surrender to the spiritual master reveals your identity, full identity. But certainly each of the senses get nourished by the process of bhakti. The devotional service develops these senses. So the living entity are not without spiritual senses. Very, very important to understand, especially if you're an Indian and if you consider myself to be in this culture, that family, I'm from Brahmin family, I'm from this family, already my family is devotee of Krishna. If you're proud about it, go and ask that person, whoever is telling you you're from that family and so proud, what am I, what is the Atma? They will say light. Nobody will say you're a person. Fully with Mayavadi philosophy. Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi. Aham Brahmasmi means, you know what is the meaning? Your spirit soul. Okay. What is the identity of spirit soul? It's a personality. And it's Das of Krishna. This is the identity. Jivero Swarupo Jiva. Is not a light which is coming. Somebody is dying, then one light is coming. Time. Like that they'll show. Sometimes when I was in school, somebody says Atma. I get scared. I thought it's ghost. So simply hearing the word Atma was so fearful because it's formless. Anything formless, no, it gives you fear. If somebody says there's a formless, asariri, there's no form, then we get scared, right? Because the form is so comfortable, it's so soothing. And when people are around, we are very happy. If you are left alone in a place, then you'll be so scared. Because you're so much used to seeing forms, and because you have a form, baby. All of us have form, okay? So the living entities are not without spiritual senses. We have a form and we have a senses. Every living being in his original spiritual form has all the senses, eyes, nose, ears, all. Now it is manifested materially in the material body and mind, the same. So even in Bible, there is a verse which says that the God created the human, especially the human, in his own image. Of course, he created animals, birds, and everything. But with his own image, he created human like this. So the human form of life has these developed senses, which is similar to our spiritual body. That is one specialization. So that activities of spiritual world we can do here, but not like Krishna is not there. So we cannot be like gopis or whatever, but we can do Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. This we can do. The activities of the material senses are perverted reflections of the activities of the original spiritual senses. So what is this perverted reflection? Generally, reflection is when you see yourself in a mirror. We call it reflection. You know what is perverted reflection? Perverted is the same mirror is broken into so many pieces. The mirror is taken and broken into so many pieces and it's on the floor. And when you see yourself, of course, you will see yourself distorted. So many distortion, but it's the reflection. So original senses are in spiritual world, original eating, original sleeping, original beautiful life, very complete. We live there because full of life, not full of dead matter. The material world is full of dead matter, and we are first jayenge. We are getting conditioned or locked up within this body, and whatever this locked up body undergoes trouble, all the nonsense we need to take. There is eating, there is shitting, there is hungry, there is disease, there all nonsensical things are there. The material body undergoes, and we seriously take all that to be ours, and it's such a difficult existence with these senses. So we are in a diseased condition. We are this perverted reflection of the activities of the original spiritual senses have activities because they always think of Krishna. Those senses naturally are attracted to the whole. We are part. If my fingers are acting in cooperation with my body, what is wrong? Why the finger has to be why that I will be independent, I'll be free. Why should I serve my body? Like that, if the finger is thinking, it's the loss for the finger. I have to serve myself. And I'm part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. We already saw the example of a machine and a screw. If you're a screw, then you act with the machine and you'll be so happy doing it. So fulfilled. Sometimes when people want to quit, I was in, sometimes HR people call me for interview. And if somebody wants to resign, convincing them to be in the project because requirement of resource. Then we ask, okay, why do you want to leave the job? Then they say, there's no job satisfaction. You're doing a job, and you know the job, and we are happy with you. You're happy, and you're getting salary, but still that guy is telling, we are happy with you. We are paying you. We are ready to increase also, but no job satisfaction. So we are looking for some job, and Jivera Sorubhogi Krishna Nithidas, you'll get job satisfaction only by serving Krishna. No other job will make you comfortable. That is the truth. And Srila Prabhupada has come here to give this ISKCON and this missionary of creating services. So that so beautiful unlimited services are being created, and we are so happy in this. In this disease condition, the spirit soul engages in the. So this is our natural position, but the artificial position is the spirit soul engages in the material activity. It's like a fever. Prabhupada is giving two examples here. There is a disease condition. Means if you're not natural, then it is called disease. You're not naturally able to eat, naturally able to walk. You have some problems. Then this is called a diseased condition. So materialism is a disease. So by increasing facility for more sense gratification is increasing the degree. Increases degree. So, fever from 105 to 117. Material disease increasing. So this is aggravating, finding more things for sense enjoyment. Oh, he's a very big scientist. He found out something. We were happily brushing the teeth with a neem stick, and they found out brush. And when they found out the brush, okay, I take the brush, I brush it, and I keep it wet there. Any wet item, it is kept in a closed room without the sunlight. Generally, bathroom doesn't have much sunlight. If I keep a wet item in a closed room without much sunlight, what will develop? Fungus will develop. Natural, simple. And next day I'm taking the same brush and I'm not seeing that fungus or whatever. And I'm brushing it. And naturally, all of us are having decayed teeth. Half is because of the toothpaste and half is because of the toothbrush. Whatever, and we are continuing to do it. And who asked you to find out that brush? Or already, where our ancestors were not brushing at all, or what? Now the question is, okay, should I go back to that organic living? No. How much will you preserve this body? Don't increase the fever, we are telling, but still they are increasing and saying that your life. So what is the use of living 100 years by brushing in a neem stick, but not becoming Krishna consciousness? But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lived only 48 years. So even if we live a short life full of Krishna consciousness, that's more worthwhile. So we are not here to create, okay, let us rewind. The materialistic civilization is going towards materialism. So I will rebel against it. I will start organic farming. That is not our aim. Our aim is to understand these are all too many things which increase our fever. So we should concentrate on our Krishna conscious activity, which is my real activity. And this Krishna consciousness propagated. Some of the tools are like internet, Zoom. These are all beautifully used by us very nicely. I will give you certain assignments in which you can use AI also. I will certainly give you, but right now not. It requires little more expertise that we will do before the end of Bhakti Shastri. I can promise you that I will teach you how to use it nicely, but not now. Not as a shortcut, but as an expert. We use everything. So meanwhile, the politicians are crying that at any moment the world may go to hell. So in this way, they're everybody is scared the world will come to an end. Wow, like this. So if you don't anyway, the world is going to come to an end. The important part is cultivating the spiritual knowledge. So one example Prabhupada is giving is this increasing of fever. So all of you go through this, and tomorrow you can we'll have something to see the analogies. What is that? So this is part of your exam, closed book exam. Analogy, whenever it comes, you just have to make an extra note of what it is. And so okay. Now the question comes, should I stop all the material activities? Yes, let us stop. So here, there is something that Very beautiful. For good health, a person should not increase his fever from 105 degree to 107 degree, but should reduce the temperature to the normal 98.6. So is it that you have to reduce the temperature to zero? No. That should be the aim of human form of life. So we are having a material body, we are having a human form of life, and we need to maintain it. So it's not that I will do only transcendental activity. The people who are doing only Krishna conscious progress better than me, why you're envying them? Why you want to compare yourself with them? They are not given education, maybe they became full time. Or they have their own ideas. Maybe. You are given a situation, try to do the best in that. Why do you want to compare and jealous that he may become more than me, or I will become, or should I become that? No, don't try to become something. Be yourself and practice. Your spirit soul right this moment, this very moment, your spirit soul. And with the very moment, whatever is the situation around you, you can chant Hare Krishna, you can hear whatever possible. Just do it. Guru Maharaj used to say this, just do it. The Nike, this thing. So Guru Maharaj regularly refers to this. Okay. So should I, this is the answers the question. Should I stop all my materialistic activities? So, okay, continue.
Should I continue?
Yeah.
So this does not mean that all activities of maintenance for the maintenance of the body should be stopped. There is no question of stopping activities, just as there is no question of wiping out one's temperature altogether when trying to recover from a disease. To make the best use of a bad bargain in the appropriate expression, the culture of spiritual knowledge necessitates that the help of body and for maintenance of the body and mind is required if we are reached to our goal. The normal temperature should be maintained at 98.6 degrees, and the great sages and saints of India have attempted to do this by a balanced program of spiritual. Yeah. The great sages and saints of India have attempted to do this by balanced program of spiritual and material knowledge. They never allow the misuse of human intelligence for deceased sense gratification. Human activities deceased by a tendency towards sense gratification have been regulated in the Vedas under the principle of salvation. This system employs religion, economic development, sense gratification, and salvation. But at the present moment, people have no interest in religion or salvation. They have only one aim in life, sense gratification. And in order to achieve this end, they make plans for economic development. Misguided men think that religion should be maintained because it contributes to economic development, which is required for sense gratification. Thus, in order to guarantee further sense gratification after death, in heaven, there is some system of religious observance. But this is not the purpose of religion. The path of religion is actually meant for self realization, and economic development is required just to maintain the body in a sound, healthy condition. A man should lead a healthy life with a sound mind just to realize Vidya, true knowledge, which is the aim of human life. This life is not meant for working like an ass or for culturing a Vidya for sense gratification. The path of Vidya is most perfectly presented in Srimad Bhagavatam, which directs a human being to utilize his life to inquire into the absolute truth. The absolute truth is realized step by step as Brahman, Paramatma, and finally Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead. The absolute truth is realized by the broad minded man who has attained knowledge and detachment by following the eight principles of Bhagavad Gita, described in the purport to Mantra 10. The central purpose of those 18 principles is attained for transcendental devotional service to the personality of Godhead. Therefore, all classes of men are encouraged to learn the art of devotional service to the Lord. The guaranteed part.
Just a second. We'll go through it. So, very, very important. This does not mean that the activities of the body should be stopped. So that 98 degrees, we need to carry out. So this Prabhupada is giving this regularly. He quotes many places he has quoted to make the best use of the bad bargain. Already we have done a bad bargain by getting this body. So we have to make the best use of this body. We anyway got the material body. Now we should nicely use it to serve Krishna, hear about him. We have senses. They are to be maintained very nicely, like you maintain a puja paraphernalia. But that doesn't mean that you keep on decorating it. That is also mentioned here. That there are 4 things the Vedas prescribe, 4 things. A regulated life, to live a regulated sense gratification. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. In English, it is Dharma is religion. Artha is economic development. Like you have Artha Sastra and all that. That Artha is economic development. And Kama is sense gratification. Kama is not just sexual gratification. All the sense gratification is called Kama. Like eyes want to see beautiful things in the world, and ears want to hear some music. Everything sense gratification is called Kama. And then salvation is Mukti. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Moksha. These are the 4 things. So the Dharma is you give charity, you perform a lot of austerity, tapasya, fasting. Many things are given in the Dharma. Artha is earning money as a Vaishya, earning money as a Shudra, earning money as a Kshatriya, like this. And earning money portion comes under economic development, Dharma, Artha. Then Kama is sense gratification, where you have a family life and you acquire many items and then keep everything in one place and set up grandson family khandan, and then you have everything sense gratification in one place. And then salvation is moksha, then you take vanaprastha and then you take sannyasa. Generally the religion comes as brahmacharya, and then economic development and sense gratification come under grahastha, and then vanaprastha and sannyasa comes under moksha, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. But this system is given only in the Vedas. The bhakti is beyond this. We are not following dharma, artha, kama, moksha. You should always remember, postponing the moksha to the end of life is so dangerous. Somebody may die as a brahmachari. So that's a danger. This is a Vedic system of varnashrama, is the dharma, artha, kama, moksha methodology. So step by step, first one will become a student and he will study, then he will do it. Then the guru's education has to finish someday. He cannot be forever getting educated. Then he'll go and the guru will teach him to live a proper Vedic life with following all the rules and regulations. Then they follows very regulated life. Morning Agnihotra he'll perform, he'll take bath in river and nicely maintain the family with various pujas and functions and everything. And then sense gratification will be part of that. And then salvation, the religious life. This is. Then he will leave the home, then he will go to Kasi and die or something like that. He'll go first with the wife. When he gets little older, with the wife, he'll start traveling to all the holy places and then take bath in many rivers, holy rivers. Then this is the Vedic kind of system. This system now nobody follows, even in the regular life. They don't follow brahmacharya or the sannyasa or vanaprastha. Everybody is simply inside the family and they get married, they earn money and they get married. And so the devotional service is beyond all these things. You should understand, devotional service is not part of this. Devotional service can be performed by brahmachari, by grahastha, by vanaprastha and sannyasa. We don't postpone. Kaumaram acharet prajna. So Prahlad Maharaj is telling, from very small childhood, the child is taught the devotion for Krishna. Grahetako, vanaitako, sada hari bolitako. Stay in the graha or vana, you can. So Prabhupada is generally talking about religious men. People think that, oh, India is so nice, it is so much culture. India, everybody wearing sari, so much culture in India. It's all complete nonsense in India. You want to see? It's full of life is sense gratification only. Oh, no, my mother does puja. She goes, what does she do? They do. Misguided men think the religion should be maintained because it contributes to economic development, which requires sense gratification. Oh, I'm doing such a nice puja. For what? My child has to get a job. We have to make home. We have to have our own house. I want to build a house. I want car. I want bungalow. Disease free. I have a disease. Or in next life, I'll go to Swargaloka. No, I have everything, but still I'm very religious person. Every religious activity in India is aimed at some sense gratification, either in this life or next life. I'll go to heaven. I'll go to Swargaloka after death. Further sense gratification, guarantee. All contaminated. So either they're doing only this, but this is not the purpose of religion. Don't be proud. Never be proud. Prabhupada went and made so many Westerners pure devotees. Excellent devotees came from there. In India, he didn't find one person qualified. And those Westerners, even Guru Maharaj, when he was 19-year-old boy, he surrendered to Srila Prabhupada. Of course, his father said, come and stay in the family. He was from a very, very rich family. His great-grandfather was the founder of a paint company, one of the top paint companies in US. It's a very, very large company. It's a MNC. His great-grandfather. And they had so many generations can sit and eat. And his father said, you join the army for some time. Then Prabhupada said, why can't you join my army? Otherwise also Guru Maharaj really liked it to stay with Prabhupada. The 19-year-old boy dedicated himself in India, tried to find. Very, very difficult. It's full surrender. What kind of surrender? No baggage. When you go, when you carry your laptop bag is hanging as a baggage in your back. In that way, we carry my Kula, Kotra, I am an Indian. These concepts we bring, I already know Krishna. This kind of concepts. They came as a clean slate. 100% Prabhupada people. 100% pure Acharya Parampara people. They are qualified to be Acharyas. They are qualified to be preachers. Very amazing personalities came out. Very amazing, because surrendered, sold the head to the spiritual master. And learned very nicely by serving from him. Serving and hearing from him. Another class. That's another class. Not being proud of your background and all nonsense. Whatever you're proud of is a big nonsense there. So, don't think that whatever, oh, I am from a Sri Vaishnava family. In South Indians are so proud. I'm from this place, that place. All nonsense there. All nonsense, because it contributes to economic development. They follow religion. Misguided men think that the religion should be maintained because it contributes to economic development. You worship Narayana, you will get all the wealth, the rain will come. One man is coming and telling, he is taking very nice song that is interpreted, completely interpreted, which is in glorification of spiritual world, and that there is a rain and a spiritual world or something like that. And he took and said that you worship, you sing this song, you'll get rain in the right time. You won't get flood in Chennai. Like this, completely misguided. Misguided men think that the religion should be maintained because it contributes to economic sense gratification. Further sense gratification after death, heaven, somehow or other material body, baby. Keep the material body in the altar and worship. Keep your own body and, oh, I eat organic food only. You eat prasadam. So, no faith in the real aspects of that religion or real aspect of worship of the Lord. But it's all meant to serve my body. Even Supreme Lord is there to maintain my body, which is going to die. All the gods in the heaven, what are they sitting like an ATM machine to grant me and my family Varadan, benediction for what? To maintain our bodies and bodies and bodies, which is going to go to fire. Such foolish, completely foolish. Investing time, energy, everything in a wrong place. A wrong place. But this is not the purpose of religion. The path of religion is actually meant for self-realization, and economic development is required. So self-realization, that's what? Self-realization is a part of God realization. That's what we are seeing. Wherever you come across self-realization, always understand that I'm not this body alone is not the complete self-realization. I am servant of Krishna. I am part and parcel of Krishna. This is the complete realization. Self-realization means I'm not the body. I am spirit soul. I am eternal servant of Krishna. I'm part and parcel of Krishna, and I'm servant. This is the holistic self-realization. So the economic development is just, so this is what the path we need to go towards this self-realization. And then economic development is to maintain the body in a very nice sound condition, healthy condition. So the man should lead a healthy life with a sound mind, just to realize with their true knowledge, which is the aim of human life. This is human life's aim. Not work like an ass for culturing avidyas. And I'm so proud. Oh, my son did PhD. After that, he did this. He's so great. He has got 25 degrees behind. Why did he get 25 degrees? How much degree is required to get a job? Just get it and finish the matter. Yeah. Just go and get a job. That's it. And with the money, just live a beautiful devotee life. Money is yours. Personal time is yours. All the personal times, use it for Krishna consciousness. All the money you have, nicely live a devotee life. What is wrong? So this is, Krishna is arranging whatever basically required for animals and birds, and he's arranging for us. So Srimad Bhagavatam, Vidya is described very nicely, how to utilize. Big kings lived. They were kings, like Ambarish Maharaj. He didn't leave and go to the forest, I will become full-time. No. Already was full-time job as a king. But he was utilizing all the parts of the body in the service of Krishna. Prahalad Maharaj, Yudhishthira Maharaj, the kings who are managing the entire kingdom is able to be devotee. You are having a small job, can't you manage that? A little job is given to maintain your own family. They are depositing some money in the bank. Why can't you get the job and just be a devotee? It's very simple. So there is no problem. Krishna will open up all the doors for us if we are favorably disposed towards Krishna consciousness. So nothing to be fearful about this world or running away. Where will you run away? From this corner of the world to that corner of the world. Everywhere the material world is there only. So better to stay wherever you are and just chant Hare Krishna and become a devotee. And adjust your schedule as much as possible. Make arrangements to perfectly follow a beautiful Krishna conscious life. That's it. So the absolute truth is realized by the broad-minded men who have attained the knowledge of detachment for following 18 principles of Bhagavad Gita. So we see that the 18 principles in the previous verse, that primarily becoming a devotee of Krishna, that when you go to the Bhagavad Gita, that very same verse where the qualities are described in the next two paragraphs, Prabhupada is mentioning that two principles are the most important. If you do that, every other quality will automatically come to you. So the two things are, one is performing unalloyed devotional service to the Lord, and second is accepting and surrendering to a spiritual master. So these two things, Guru, Krishna, Kripa Pai Bhakti Lata Beach, Guru and Krishna. When you do these two things, all the other things, these 18 purposes, attainment of transcendental devotional service will come to you. So this is there. Tasmat ekena manasa Bhagavan satvatam pati srotavya kirtitavyascha dehya pujyascha nityata. Very beautiful verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. So the same Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu describes the Vidya, the 64 Angas of Bhakti. If you learn, then you will know, okay, how should I do Bhakti? How should I? Okay, fine, what should I do? Very beautiful. Go around Tulsi, go around Rath chant Hare Krishna mantra, read Bhagavatam, dance in front of the deity, sing in front of the deities, wear tilak, wear kantimala, like this. Whatever we are doing, very beautifully, easily, casually. Such a sweet life. That is so. With one pointed attention, Tasmat ekena manasa, Bhagavan Satvatam Pati. So just you need to worship the Supreme Lord. You have to hear about, glorify, remember, worship the Supreme Lord who is the protector of Satvatam Pati. Srotavya Kirtitavyasta. Srota means hearing. Kirtana means chanting. Dehya Pujyasta Nityada. Remember. Dehya means remember. Pujya means worship. Nityada, always. Do this and that's all. Be like a happy child of Krishna. Running here and there, just talking the glories of him. And then all success will be there for you. Unless religion, economic development, sense gratification, or other people who are generally religious and proud about their religious activities, they should accompany it with the religion as well as sannyas. They cannot just do economic development and do so many pujas and claim themselves to be a very expert religion. I am a Hindu. I am a Hindu. No, what Hindu you are? You're not sending your child to brahmacharya. Neither you are taking a, oh, that man is a very nice religious man. Oh, how he died yesterday, he died. How he died? He was reading newspaper in the easy chair and he died. That's the death. Is that the death? Today's newspaper is in the dustbin now in the evening. Morning newspaper is in the dustbin in the evening. Tomorrow another news will come and the yesterday's news is old news. And he just died reading about avidya. The one which is not permanent. So even that religion, if religious person is there, it should be attainment towards devotional service to the Lord. If devotion is missing, everything is missing. So in the following mantras, we will see that how it is very, very amazing to have a proper vidya, demigod worship, impersonalism, everything we'll discuss, which is there in the general world. Okay, thank you very much. Is there any questions or comments? That's it. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
So actually, there was one statement that the material activities are the perverted reflection of means spiritual world means
Yes.
so means right now we have means so many things like for example IT companies, so is that there also?
Very, very nice question. There are two things I want to say. One is this perversion reflection. That you will understand it very clearly when you come to Bhagavad Gita 15th chapter. This perverted reflection is a reflection, not like a mirror which you're seeing straightly. It is like a straight line is there, and there is some object is on top, and the reflection is upside down. Okay, upside down. So whatever is the greatest there is the lowest here, and whatever is the lowest here is the greatest there. Like that. So you will come to know about that when you come there. So detailedly, I will put you some pictures and show you how it is done. But your question is very, very nice. Why should will we have IT companies there? So already it's perverted, right? It is upside down. Point number one. Second, it is broken. So the perverted reflection is about the sense enjoyment. Now the question is, why should you go to IT company? Why IT company is there in this world?
Economic development.
Economic development. That means economic is lagging. If something has to be developed, economic is lagging. So they are developing infrastructure, they are developing bridges, they are constructing. When everything is already, there is beautiful bridges, there is automatically manifested in spiritual world. That who is doing? Balaram, the Ananta. The Balaram is creating beautiful spiritual environment with so many bridges and everything is already developed. Why one should work? Right? So the perversion, here it is mentioned, I'll show you. The perversion is about senses only. The perversive reflection is mentioned here. Just a second. About the senses. You read it carefully. Fine. We will also cook. We will also eat. The activities of the material senses. The activities of the material senses are perverted reflections of the activities of the original spiritual senses. So in IT company, what do? You use your finger in the keyboard. Yes or no?
Yes.
So there is also IT company in spiritual world where you will use the finger and play with the fingers in veena or in a musical instrument. And you have seen Radha Madhav Ashtasaki and all. Some gopis are sitting down and they are playing some instruments. Yes? You will
Yes.
also play there with fingers. Your senses will be there and the senses will act. You'll be busy doing that activity. But that activity will bring you bliss, not trouble. Unknown activity for doing unknown, I don't know, the output is not coming. But their output will musical, beautiful music will come out of your output. So your senses will be there, your fingers will be there, your eyes will be there. Only thing is the keyboard won't be there because the struggle for existence is what is the perverted, the reflection portion is happening in one side. And if it's broken, hey, who is this? Abhishek Sinha. Hey, baby, Sleepy Pie, your cousin or who's doing all this? Nutcut. Abhishek. Okay. Now what will you do? Let me see. Okay. So this is what it is. You got it? We have the senses, but struggle for existence is not there. For example, who's the owner of the company? You don't even know him, right? But you're working for him, no? Whom are you
Yes.
working in IT company? For owner?
Yes.
The beneficiary is the owner. You're only an employee. There is a company there and in spiritual world, and the owner is Krishna, and you'll be working for him. But it will not be so boring. It will be so happy. And because he'll also come with you, he'll play with you. Sometime you will win, sometime he will win. It's not that all the time they will win. In our company, what they are doing, they are giving very small this thing. That is why it is called perverted, means it's broken. It's completely unhappy, broken. It's not exact reflection. Not mentioned exact reflection. Broken into multiple pieces. And it's opposite. If I see my left hand as right hand and right hand as left hand in the reflection. So it is opposite. So what is, if it's reflection, it's not exact reflection. So I will have my hands, I will have my legs, everything I'll have, and I'll be fully happy with using all the senses. My senses will be fully satisfied by my activities. Not again hunger, not like that. So it's not exact. It's a reflection means what? Material world is a reflection. So original, can you, if I am eating an apple in the real world, this is the reflection. So what you are asking is, you are asking me to compare reflection with the original. No. In spiritual world, you'll serve Krishna. That is the original. For example, I'm eating an original apple in front of the mirror. Original apple. I'm really tasting it so nicely. But inside the mirror, there is an apple. I'm trying to lick that apple. Can I taste it? I cannot taste. When I'm eating the original apple only, I'm tasting. But if I lick the apple in the mirror, I'm not able to taste it. So material world is a reflection. There's no taste in it. And you have to work a useless master. But spiritual world also there's master. Spiritual world also you need to work. But it's the real apple, you're eating the real apple. So you're feeling so job satisfaction, so enjoyment. That is the thing. You got it?
Yes, thoda thoda.
Thoda, kya hai? Okay. When you come to 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, you will even understand even more better. Very simple. उधर exact IT company होना है आप सोचते हैं. That is not possible because this is the reflection. Which is the original Akarshak Srihari? Is material world the original or the spiritual world original?
Spiritual world.
Original, correct? Point number one. Point number two, that original has a reflection, that is material world. And the original is broken into multiple pieces. Perverted means, okay, multiple pieces it is broken. And it is reverse. And broke हो गया तो इधर उधर खाली जगह पड़ेगा ना. If a mirror is broken, खाली जगह इधर उधर पड़ेगा. So खाली जगह original में नहीं है. The original doesn't have that kali jaga. Original has what is being reflected only, the senses. Like we are having eyes, we are having nose. These, we are having ears, we are using our fingers for working. All these things will be there. But the job which we are doing here need not be exactly the same job there. We'll also be doing job using the fingers. And if you want a Krishna, if you want an IT company, Krishna will create an IT company. But IT company is created for control, command and control. Krishna already has the control. So our master is not a cheap master there. So the reflection is not exactly same to same reflection. What is here? The same thing is there in the spiritual world. Here suffering is there. And you will ask, is there suffering in spiritual world? Yes. But it is different. Here you are suffering with your mind, your body, your adibhaudika, adhyatmika, adidevika klesha. You are suffering with birth, death, old age, disease. But in spiritual world, Yashoda is suffering because Krishna has gone to the forest and she is feeling, maybe he is hungry, he is not eaten fully. So otherwise Putana has come and taken. There's no Asuras there, but still some discomfort Krishna will feel. Then the Yashoda will feel suffering. Not because a pin pricked her body. For you, if a pin is pricking you, you are feeling trouble because your having body is different from the soul. So it is not exact reflection, it's perverted reflection, especially to say that spiritual world ko thoda bolega, the ajeeb sa cheez. It's so different, it has another dimension, this, that. People will try to create confusion in your mind. So no, there Goloka, you can understand Goloka. There is tree. When they say there is a tree, there is animal. Ajeeb sa dinosaur will not come there. Normally you have cow here, there is cow there. But this cow is different from that cow. That's all. This is a material cow with a material body. Out of karma, he has taken birth, and that cow's body will die. In spiritual world, that cow, that body will not. What is that? Every cow is kamadenu. So it's not the same cow. Will it be available in spiritual world like that? A motor car. Somebody asked Prabhupada the similar question. In spiritual world, is there motor car? Then Prabhupada said, why do you want motor car? Brr, burr, sound and noise and fumes. Why do you want? If you think you can fly anywhere, or you have beautiful golden chariot. Why do you want motor car with the brr, burr sound and petrol and diesel and like that? So another example Prabhupada gave, a fisherman cannot sleep in the night without fish basket smell. So even if you take to a very nice bungalow, one time a fisherman was crossing a bungalow and it was becoming late. So that the person of the owner of the house was very kind and he said, and that fisherman was sitting outside, he cannot reach home in dense forest. Then the owner said that, sir, come and sleep inside my home. Okay, that fisherman went inside and he cannot sleep in the night. The owner of the house saw that the fisherman is turning this side and that side. Sir, please sleep properly. Why you're not sleeping properly? Very nice care of Aditi. Then he said, sir, I'm sorry. I live in a hut and every time I sleep with my fish basket next to me. So without that smell, I'm not able to sleep. So the owner was kind, okay, fine, I'll clean the home tomorrow, no problem. Just bring the basket inside, keep next to you and sleep. And then the fisherman went outside and got the fish basket next to him. And then he slept. Well, so Prabhupada quoted this example that you're in the material world and you want all those things in the spiritual world, it's not available. It need not be available because that avashyakta nahi hai udhar. So because we are like fishermen, so we are in the conditioned state and we cannot understand the creations of beyond time and space. Everything is spiritual. Like for example, if you have here you have jada, there is no jada there. There is chair, table, stone. Everything is a living entity. Everything is living entity. There's no matter at all. So we cannot imagine from this conditioned state the existence there. Chintamani pragara sadmashu kalpa vriksha lakshavrudesh surabir abhipalayantam Lakshmi sahasra sada sambrahma sevyamanam Govindam adipurusham tamaham bhajami. So it's difficult to assume. So it's not you have all the trouble that trouble. I told hunger is not there. You say here hunger is there. Will there be hunger? No, I said no. Then something I understood. I didn't understand fully. Means what? Here you have struggled for existence, so you have the computer and this and that, and you have chashma because your eye is not looking properly. Is there chashma there? You have a nitya eye, beautiful eyes. Why should you require a spectacle? Because your eyesight is poor, you're wearing spectacle. So all in disease condition, we have all these things. But in a healthy condition, we don't require some things. So in disease condition, you may require so many things. You may require a saline bottle or something. So when you're in a hospital, you're having saline bottle. And when you become normal and you go back home from the hospital, from fever is over, your disease is over, will you carry the saline bottle? Oh, saline bottle is there in the hospital. They gave me saline bottle. Here also I'll wear. No, you can eat normal food at home. So that is our home. We can eat normal food there. We need not take the saline bottle. But here we have the material body. In order to maintain the body, whatever is required here, that is not required there, because there the body doesn't require any maintenance. Here you need to have a job, you need to have a salary, then only with the money you can manage all that. You can just eternally living there. You won't die if you don't eat here in material world. Your body will die. But in spiritual world, you don't eat for you eat only for pleasure, not for hunger. And if you don't eat for 2-3 days, you still live because you are nitya. Sat, chit, and ananda. Sat means eternity. So the requirement of temporary body is not there in the spiritual world. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Not because I'm scolded, I'm raising my voice. Really, we can talk, no problem. You put the further, if you have question, put it voice message, no problem. Anybody else? Srikanth unmuted and then he muted. You have any question, Srikanth? सो गया ये जहां सो गया हमारा class bandas. Okay, bandas and bindas, we are finishing the session here. It's already too late. I'm supposed to go to another call, but I think they won't pick up. Okay, fine, it's going to be 11. Anybody has any question, kindly put a voice message to me. Hari Bol, Hare Krishna, or in the group, anywhere. Manchakalpatarabhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरु महाराज की जय,
जय
गौर प्रेमानंद।
हरि हरि बोल।